speak. I keep quiet a lot of the time because I wonder what it is to speak. To speak. To speak. To speak. How? And how to speak. And what would I say? What would I speak for even? And why? How much of what's in me deserves to be mixed with what's in you? With what's in the world? Do I value it yet? If not, should it come out of my mouth? Perhaps not. Yet sometimes it might still. When, if in speaking I am heard, and you value it more than I did, then it seems rather that I am misheard. And it seems to become a problem. Then in speaking I am not truly heard, for what I feel or think has not been said, yet though still I have spoken. Then it becomes apparent that what I have said should not have been said. For what I feel and think has not been heard at all. All that has been heard is what I've said. So I'm at a loss, grasping at how to speak. For if I have not yet decided on how to live, then how could I know how to speak? If now I have not decided on how to be, or how to move through the world, then how could I know how to speak? And so you see, to speak has always been a problem. To speak, and how to speak. Then to learn about languages even more. To know that with these other words come another way of mind, and so then to speak on what I feel, this might not be easier said in my native tongue than it would be in another's. Again, so how would I know how to speak if I were to know something like this? And then it would seem that I'd not yet know even how to think, and in feeling I may be mature, but with thinking or in speaking I would come across an infant in the conveying of these emotions. It makes me wonder again how to speak at all, or why even. Should I speak at all? But to not speak would be worse, and all that remains without speech is confusion and the actions that come from this confusion that arises from our lack of speech. And then to be heard. How to be heard? How could you be heard if you didn't know how to speak? Or just to speak even, how would you ever be heard? To say yet, if I were talking that whole time made me to be heard, yet not knowing how to speak, well then I wouldn't be heard. Though I would still be making noise. Loud and specific noise that causes loud and specific reactions. Something like Poseidon somehow swimming against the waves in a storm thrashing against himself. And I'd be lost in the knowing of that noise. That I did this. That this is me echoing and flowing around me. And it would be like walking through the corridors of a house that is made up of the echoes of my own words. And I could hear them in the walls and in the creaky floorboards. But this is it. This is me. And then how to speak becomes more of a problem, knowing like God knows then that this world is made up only of the word. And you understand the depth then of what it is to speak now, from this knowing of how important it is to speak. To know how to speak, to know to speak, and when to speak. R.D.M.